Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Catherine here. Today I'm going to be talking about 6 tips for a better night's sleep. So I know myself that I often do get a very good night's sleep, but there's other times where I certainly don't, and I know that it's so important for our health and our well-being, and I can certainly attribute to that. I have in the last 5 years had a mental illness and suffered from severe anxiety and panic attacks, and I can tell you right now that a lot of the healing that's happened in my brain has happened during sleep, a physical healing, a healing that I can certainly have a very deep understanding of what went on, and it has happened over the past 5 years. So I personally understand and know the importance and significance of sleep in healing, and also removing toxins from our bodies, and also just improving our health and well-being overall. It's imperative that we all get a great night's sleep. So not sure if you've ever heard of Professor Matt Walker. He's a sleep scientist, so he's works at I think it's in Britain. He's got a sleep school. If not there, I mean, he's well known throughout the world. So I think you should check out some of his TED Talks. They're quite fascinating. There's one in particular called Sleep is Your Superpower, and a lot of these tips are obviously all based in science, and it's important to listen to the science, particularly with things like this, because it's these people know what they're certainly on about. And he has given 6 tips which I'm going to talk to you about quickly. The first one is regularity. So he said that we should go to bed at the same time every night and wake up at the same time every day, even including on weekends, which isn't always easy. But he said regularity is king, and it anchors sleep, and it also, because our brain has an internal clock which it requires, he said it actually likes regularity, and so what it will do is improve the quality and quantity of the sleep over time if we can keep things regular, which is so interesting. The second one is, hang on, let me just check my notes. So the second one is keep it cool. He said it's easier to go to sleep in a cooler room than a warmer one, because our brain and our body has to drop 1 degree to be able to go to sleep and stay asleep. And he recommends that your room temperature should just be over 18 degrees Celsius. And I know myself, I actually do wake up quite a bit because I think I'm too hot. But that's an interesting point. It's easier to fall asleep in a colder room because our body temperature does need to drop. So, and our brain. The third one is darkness. So he said that we are more prone to being more awake, or being more in the light. And he said we actually need darkness because it triggers the hormone melatonin, which helps us go to sleep. And he said it's sort of part of the timing process of allowing us to fall asleep. So whether you dim your lights in the evenings, you might wear an eye mask at night. And he recommended staying away from phones and computers, which I know I'm always looking at my phone before I go to bed. So he sort of made those recommendations. Another one was that the next one actually he was saying is, we're used to lying in bed. If you're awake and you can't sleep, people are often lying in bed and, tossing and turning. And he said if you can't fall asleep if it takes more than 25 minutes to fall asleep, or if you wake up and you're lying there, he said you actually need to get up. And because what it does, he said that the brain is very responsive to and associative to things. And so what lying in bed does is our brain associates the fact that we can't sleep. So getting up and getting out of bed and then doing something else and then going back to bed when you're tired, he said your brain relearns to associate sleeping when you go to bed. So I thought that was really interesting. So the next one is, monitor your alcohol and your caffeine intake. And obviously, that's important anyway. I know that I've been drinking probably a bit more coffee and I quite like it in the afternoon. So he sort of suggested not having caffeine in the afternoon and also not going to bed too tipsy, which can help you get a better night's sleep. And then the final one was to have a wind down routine. So I'm not sure whether you have a wind down routine. I know I have a bit of one. I actually quite like to dim my lights at night anyway, but he suggested doing that and like having a bit of a routine to get away from the computer or the phone to actually allow yourself to relax, say an hour or half an hour before you go to bed. And also my routine is I actually love to have a shower before I go to bed. I find it really relaxing, and I listen to music in the shower and often sing in the shower, and that's a bit of my wind down routine. And then I always do a bit of meditation too when I go into bed. So that's a bit of my routine. But I think, we can all appreciate a few little added tips to help us get a better night's sleep. And I hope you enjoyed that. And I'll be talking to you more about this very important topic because it is really very important for our health. And we all love sleeping, and especially when we get a really good night's sleep. So take care, everyone. We'll talk again soon. Bye.